Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques.
Hulk.
What's up, folks? Green Bay. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, we met up with an elite team, y'all.
Yep.
We can say all the refs this and the refs that. Hey, refs did blow some calls. We agree. But it ain't that big of a difference for us to have won this game if those plays were made correctly. We got beat, folks.
Flat out.
In the snow.
Yep. Flat out.
Yep.
I mean, but hey, before we get there, shout out to Willie B's, man. We had a good time at Willie B's. We thank you for their hospitality. And we enjoyed ourselves, man. If you're in the Nashville area again, we'll be there this Sunday for the Texans game. So if you stop by, hey, come holler at us, man. We definitely will talk to you. That was a fan that actually came to the game too.
Yep.
Definitely. So
yeah,
hey,
man.
Shout out, man. It was a good time.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Shout out as well to him, man. We appreciate it. And guys, we got some things cooking there at Willie B's. If you're there in Nashville, maybe special guests and things like that. We'll see what's going on. We'll let you guys know. So, yes, the Green Bay Packers. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be fooled. The Packers are a threat to win the Super Bowl. Okay, and I think one thing Green Bay did that we were not expecting, they found a gift in A.J. Dillon. And we were thinking that A.J. would be the biggest player of this game. We got the wrong A.J. It wasn't our A.J. Brown this game. It was A.J. Dillon. He looked like Corey Dillon out there. Yes, it was snowing. Yes, it was cold. But, he had over 100 yards rushing. Aaron Jones almost had 100 yards. Devontae Adams was cutting us up 3 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers was doing whatever he wanted to, and they're a better football team. It's just what it is. We could talk about bad calls from the refs and things and all that. I get that, but we still wouldn't have won this football game. It's just plain and simple.
I agree. No, you're right. We ran up into an elite team that this was a test for us to see if we can roll with the big boys, the elite teams. We're in the tier 2 teams, right? The good teams that can beat the teams that they're supposed to beat, and we can beat some 500 teams as well, like the Ravens. I still honestly think we can beat the Steelers. Teams like that doesn't have a fiery quarterback or MVP quarterback, we can hang with. But
Facts. No paper, sir.
The teams that we tend to struggle with are the elite teams, and I mean. That's, to me, I'm not saying that's how it's supposed to be because they're elite teams. They're Super Bowl contenders. That's what it is. But when you're trending up, you're trying to put that litmus test on it. Like, hey, can we compete with the big dogs? No. Yeah, you can blame the refs. You can blame the snow. But we just flat out got beat. I don't care if minus the snow, take the snow away, and it probably still would have been the same thing. The thing about the Green Bay Packers is they'll let you in. They're going to keep you in the game. Right. They will keep you in the game. They will keep you there. We were in there for a while, and then they just opened the floodgates, and it just happened. So, I mean, we went up against the juggernaut, like you said. Devontae Adams had a good game. Dillon, he had a good game. It almost reminded you of was it Corey Dillon back in the day?
Mm-hmm. Right,
for the Bengals.
Yep,
like a carbon copy, like a clone, literally.
Same number, same style, everything.
Same style, Dillon, man. Like AJ used to give us hell.
Yes, A.J. Dillon. His lower body is ridiculous in breaking tackles. Like, dude, dude was running, man. And I don't think Green Bay even realized what they have. I mean, I think looking at A.J. Dillon, I think he might have had an issue learning the playbook or something because Aaron Rodgers was directing him the whole game on where to run, right? Probably. He literally was doing like this and doing this to him. So maybe that was the reason why he hadn't been on the field as much. And then Aaron Jones is a heck of a running back. Aaron Jones almost had 100 yards rushing. 2 running backs almost with 100 yards. Our defense got picked apart left and right, up and down, north and south, east and west, up and under. You name it, right? It happened, okay? We got picked apart. We got beat. And we're concerned. We really are, man. So, Jacques, I didn't really sleep well last night, man. Went to Willie B's. First of all, had a great time, as you mentioned. Did the pregame, halftime, postgame. After the game, I was just not in a really good mood because of the fact that I want us to really make that next jump. And it just seems like we keep getting stifled because of the way we're playing on defense. And it is what it is. I have to learn to accept that, right, for right now. It's just what it is. So give us reasons, man, as to why we lost this game to the Green Bay Packers.
Well, one reason is it looks like we didn't want to be there, first of all. Like, they just straight out, like, the snow's coming down. Titans were ready to go from the time the kickoff happened, right? And it's just I always go back to it, energy. But it almost looks like the team was, like, starstruck. Like, and I'm not saying because it was Aaron Rodgers, but just the whole environment is snowing. They looked out of place. They don't look like they knew where they were going. And this is on defense, right? Offensively, Tannehill is starting to show me. I mean, he's played in cold weather games before, but this is the second game. When we played the Chiefs, he didn't have a good game. And in this game, he didn't have a very good game. He's had a good season, but this game is just, Tannehill, you did all right. That means just the team just looked lackluster, man. And it could be because of the snow, but I don't know. Point number 2, mistakes. Of course, we can say the refs, all right? And the refs, they had a cause in this as well. But, I mean, it goes to all elements, literally. On offense, you're not capitalizing on different mistakes. Like, literally, you're not capitalizing. We didn't capitalize. AJ and Corey, of course, looked like they couldn't get their footing. Couldn't run their routes to the full. Henry had a decent game, but I don't expect Henry to just go out there and just bust it open in freaking snow. It should be a Henry game, right? Because this is his element. The snow game, hey, give it to Henry like 30 times, but we took him out 3rd and short, which was – I don't understand why we did that. We call ourselves trying to put the ball in Tannehill's hands a lot to allow him to throw. And it was working, but it wasn't working because it wasn't there, right? And I don't know if it was snowing so hard they couldn't see. I don't know. But it's just they looked out of place and they looked lost. I mean, on offense and defense. Preferably defense, but offensively. And then we go to point 3, man, defense. Defense again. Defense. We can't get a pass rush to save our life. Now, I will give them some credit. They did attempt to send an extra rusher per, quote, the DBs, but it still didn't work. Now, when we were able to get a little pressure on Rodgers, you've seen him throwing off his back foot. You've seen him making a little bit of mistakes, but we didn't continue to do that, right? This is a game, man. If I was coaching defense and I knew we've been struggling, I'm sitting in the house. It just is what it is. But I know you have an all-pro. I mean, you have a Pro Bowler in Devontae Adams who can't be stopped. Adoree didn't have a good game. He looked lost out there. He couldn't get his footing. We thought that having Adoree back would elevate this defense, and we're kind of wrong, right? We're judging it off of one game, yes, but playing in the snow, Adoree's not a snow guy, right? Tennessee, we don't get snow like that. You see what I'm saying? We don't snow like that here. So just to see games like this and see how the team played is disappointing because we were trying to see if we were hitting at an elite level, right? And we know when our offense stalls out, man, it's no hope. Offensively, if the offense has a 3-and-out in the first 3 possessions of the game, it's going to be a long game. And it's a possibility we might not win that game. Right. Trust the process, yes, but I don't trust my defense to at least make a stop. You had stupid penalties. Go to Rashaan Evans, man. I mean, the hands to the face, looking at it, it was hands to the face, but he's costing us games. Well, I told you when we was at Willie B's, I said, that could cost us the game. Yeah. That play right there could cost us the game, literally, because you're not taking advantage of your opportunities. When you play teams like this, every little mistake that happens, it can be a detriment. You lose you the game. So 3 elements, man, that I see, man, snow, lackluster, and no pass rush on defense, man. It's just what ultimately killed it. And it's just to get spanked up like this, 40-14, it's humbling. It's humbling for everybody, the fans, because we had us winning. The fans, the players, everybody. So, I mean, we ran up against a juggernaut. We flat out got beat. Hey, I'd rather get beat by them this way than get beat by the Cincinnati Bengals 40-14. Then we really digress. So, what about you, Ho?
So, In the pregame, I talked about how time of possession and no pass rush will be the essential pieces to win this football game. That we have to do that. We have to rush the passer and have the time of possession. Two numbers to keep in mind here: 23 and 36. What is that? What is that reference? The Green Bay Packers had the ball for 36 minutes. We had the ball for 23 minutes. I mean, it is what it is, right? That's a big reason why we lost this football game. It seemed at one point in the first half, I think we only had the ball maybe for 2 series. It seemed like Green Bay was on offense the entire first half. And you cannot do that against the Green Bay Packers, a team that has an elite offense, an elite quarterback, an elite receiver, and a very good running game, okay? Their offensive line played very well for the Packers. Time of possession was huge. And what happens in that regard, it sort of ices out Derrick Henry. Now, for those that might think Derrick Henry, didn't have a good game, Derrick Henry had 98 yards rushing, okay? Mm-hmm. And, despite the fact that our time of possession wasn't quite there, he didn't have as many yards per carry. I think it was like 4 yards a carry. So, they did a pretty good job with it. They kept him contained. He didn't even score a touchdown. But, I know people are going to say Ryan Tannehill had a bad game. I mean, he only had 120 yards passing. He had a great run that he had. The run was awesome. But he had 2 interceptions, right? So, the offense stalled for the Titans this game. But again, time of possession was huge. You can't keep having our bad defense out there getting exposed, okay? It is what it is. You can't keep putting cold glasses of water in freezing temperature. Eventually it's going to freeze, right? So you got to keep taking that water out sometime. You can't just keep it there. And that's what happened. Our defense was stuck out there and they got froze out on Lambeau Field. And Green Bay was picking them apart. Everyone had a heck of a game. Matter of fact, on fantasy football, I was winning by 30. And who was I going against? Devontae Adams. In the championship game, he had 43 points in fantasy football. There was nothing we could do about that. And as well, too, man, when you look at us offensively, I felt that we had things cooking. I felt towards the end of the second half in the third quarter, we started to pick it up a bit, right? We started to pick it up. But again, our defense, no pass rush. And the few times we rushed the passer, Aaron Rodgers made incomplete passes and he got sacked by Wyatt Ray. When that was happening, right, we were making plays in that regard. Very few times we rushed the passer on a blitz. But yet and still, we were just playing stand-up football. The defensive line just come up and stand up like a wall. Like, what are you doing? Are you blocking for linebackers or something? What are you doing, right? Our defense struggled, folks. We played terrible on defense. So, time of possession, no pass rush. We talked about it in the pregame, and that's exactly what happened this game as to why we lost. So, yep.
It's facts. Yep. So, Hope, what was the turning point or the crucial moment that ultimately lost us this game?
So I will say this. That Kalu play was huge. Kalu was not offsides. We know this. Packer fans can say whatever. He was not offsides. If we find a picture of him clipping on here, he was not offsides. But which caused us, we got the block field goal. We got the ball, could have scored. They called offsides. They get the ball back. They end up scoring. Okay, that was a huge momentum swing. But I'm not going to sit there and say that's why we lost the game, okay? We were coming back going into the third quarter. We had scored a touchdown, very first possession, third quarter, touchdown, right? And I even think the game was, I think it was 14 to 19.
19?
Yes, 19 to 14. And then a touchdown, not to Devontae Adams. He was doing his thing out there. It was a touchdown to Equimini St. Brown in the corner for 21 yards. We were building momentum. And then when he scored, then you start thinking, okay, now we're down 2 touchdowns, now 3 touchdowns. And in the second half, when you look at us as the Titans, that was the only touchdown we had in the second half. The Green Bay Packers scored 21 points in the second half. So it was kind of like once Green Bay sort of had that, they just took the soul out of the Titans, even on offense. We were sputtering all over the field. Ryan Tannehill's throwing interceptions. Corey Davis didn't even have a catch. A.J. Brown didn't have a good game. They couldn't even get open. The snow could be a reason, but it's cold to us, it's cold to them too. We're not different mammals. We're all human beings, right? So, it's not like Green Bay's had a cold game this year like that, right? So there's no excuses there. Ryan Tannehill said it's not an excuse because of the cold weather. You got to still, ladies and gentlemen, we could be playing the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs, the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. It snows there too. It's cold there too. If not, well, probably not cold in Green Bay. Buffalo would probably rival that, but we're going to have to play in the cold. And here, even in Nashville, it's not going to snow, but it can get cold here too. So, we just have to, and I don't know. What about for you, man? What were some of the crucial plays you felt as to why we lost this game?
That play that to the offsides, which wasn't a freaking offsides. We knew it wasn't an offsides. I mean, literally, it was not an offsides. I think the Kalu block last year when it happened, I think refs are checking for Kalu now to literally see if he's offsides. Literally, and Kalu is so fast that he times his break coming off of the edge just right. That wasn't offsides because if that block would have stood, that's momentum, right? Yep. That's a possible score. Then that really gets you back in the game because that's what Green Bay does. They keep you in the game, right? This game was probably the game that they were able to finish, right? But the whole season, they've been able to keep players in the game, literally. I mean, teams in the game, excuse me. That was one crucial play. And then, like you said, the Quentin St. Brown catch. Literally, we get the touchdown coming back, and you're thinking, hey, momentum-wise, we're good. Defense, the only thing you have to do is just stop them, right? And then on King, he scored on King. I think it was King. I don't know if it was a miscommunication because Aquinas came around, and I was like, first of all, my first question is, anytime you see a corner chasing a receiver, that tells me that he's either in cover 2 or cover 3 or he's coming down, right? And that means that safety is supposed to be over top. Yeah. You're supposed to get your man, right? And I literally have to go back and look at the play and figure out, okay, what was the miscommunication? But in the secondary, we can't afford to have miscommunication. We can't afford it because when you don't already have a pass rush. When you miscommunicate in the secondary, it allows big plays like that. That big play right there opened the floodgates, right? When I seen King coming around, I was like, hold on. What's going on? And we've seen this too many times this year. Like, it's starting to become annoying because it's like, hey, guys, you can figure out a way of how to communicate in the secondary. It's a way, right? It's a way to do it. But that play right there just busted it open. Then, like you said, Hulk, we started to see the building come down, literally. Like, Tannehill's throwing interceptions. The defense unraveling again. Dylan steps out of bounds, and Vrabel doesn't throw the challenge flag. You're like, Vrabel, he said, well, I really didn't see the angle. I'm like, dude, you see the replay. He stepped out of bounds, throw the challenge flag. They're going to call it. The ref is sitting there literally looking like this. It's right here. That's another momentum killer because that would have been an 8-yard run.
Yep.
That would have been an 8-yard run. That wouldn't have been a 20-some-yard run. He would have stepped out. At least you could have, held him to a field goal at least. But those key plays in the game is literally what cost us the game. And these mistakes you can't make going into the playoffs against teams like this. Look, I mean, I watched the Chiefs and Falcons game, right? And we know the Falcons, man, there's a curse on the Falcons. I don't know what it is. I would hate to be a Falcons fan. But that was the best defense performance I've seen ever played against Patrick Mahomes. They had Tyreek Hill out there frustrated. They had Patrick Mahomes out there frustrated. Kelsey was like, what is going on? Why are we keeping these cats in the game? It makes no sense, right? When I see them, I'm like, okay, the difference is they do have a couple of pass rushers that's pretty decent. They got motors, right? Every time I see our pass rushers get up out their stance and rush the passer. Like you said, Hawk, what are they doing? They just standing there like this. Bless you. They just standing there like this, literally, just like this. And I'm like, where's the energy? Where's the effort? I'm not at least trying to get to the passer. What's going on? And I think Titans fans are frustrated with this defense, and I'm getting frustrated now just talking about it. But, man, those are the crucial plays to me, in my opinion, of cost us the game. And then even the Rashaan Evans penalty. That was huge, bro. Yep. That was huge because we had stopped them on third down. We had stopped them on third down, something that doesn't happen a lot with us.
Nope.
We stopped them.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, hey, here comes Rashaan Evans putting hands to the face. It's frustrating, man.
Yeah,
it's
man.
frustrating.
I mean, so with a bad loss like this, Shock, I mean, how do we overcome this? I mean, the playoffs is coming, and we got to win some. We got to win here. How do we overcome something like this?
You trust the process, and I always say this, man. And that's my thing. Trust the process. But when your process is not working, then hey, it's time to switch up the process. Okay. Luckily, and I'm tired of doing this. 4 years in a row where the last game has had to determine us getting in the playoffs. This is getting old, man. This is getting old, okay? Luckily, we have a team in Houston who is limping right now, okay? I'm not gonna say that's a guaranteed game. That's not guaranteed, people. That's not guaranteed. We can't even get no damn pass rush on when the Bengals had a makeshift line, right?
Yep.
Let alone get one on them, and then we playing Deshaun Watson. We're playing D what? Who can threat? He's just as worse as Aaron Rodgers. Right? So we have to win this game. It's a winnable game. It's a good matchup for Derrick Henry, who usually has big games against the Texans anyway. At this point, what hurts us is we can't rest our starters, right? So you're taking a chance on getting Tannehill hurt, Derrick Henry hurt, Adoree Jackson hurt again. Anybody can get hurt this game. These are the games that you want to come in the last game of the season and be like, hey, we chilling, right? We good. But people, I can't say me and Lorenzo's predictions for the year or the score, 11-5, might actually come to fruition. Like literally, it might actually come to fruition. But win this game, my confidence level, and it's crazy. Just how everything's playing out. Say we lucky enough we get the Dolphins. We can beat the Dolphins, people, right? Get to the second round, get the Steelers. I feel confident in enough to where, hey, we can beat the Steelers. We can stick with them, right?
Yep.
Go back to the championship, man, we ain't winning that. It'll be the Chiefs. Yeah. It'll be the Chiefs. Yeah. But to overcome a loss like this, you have to, on offense, offense can't make a mistake. And it's I hate putting this on shoulders because you're going to make a mistake on offense, right? You can't be perfect every time on offense. Look at Aaron Rodgers. He threw an interception. Did he throw 2 interceptions?
Threw one.
Okay. He threw an interception. You can't ask Aaron Rodgers to be perfect every play. Right. But our offense is going to have to be lights out because once they stall out, our defense, we can't depend on our defense to save anything, right? Literally, I mean, we should be 30. We should be the 32 ranked defense in the league. Should just to how we play. But on defense, we are who we are. Shane Bowen and Mike Vrabel is going to have to come together and and even you might have to get John Robinson involved to say John Robinson is going to have to take this thing over. Be like, look, if we don't make it this year to the championship, I'm taking it back. We got to hire a defensive coordinator, Vrabel. We can't continue to do this. We got to check your ego at the door. Because your ego is as big as this room, right? You're the reason why we're in this mess. You, not anybody else, you, right? So they're gonna have to go in and literally figure out, hey, what's worked? We know as fans, we know as analysts, we know, hey, I watched 4 NFL games Sunday, Hawk, and when I kept telling you, each team has a decent pass rush. They got a better pass rush than we do. But I said they're not getting to the quarterback every time, but they're pressuring. And they're getting creative. They're sending linebackers. They're sending safeties. They're sending cornerbacks. If we do the same thing, hey, we might have a chance or at least a decent chance. Like you said earlier, every time we did that, Aaron Rodgers threw an incomplete pass. You got him throwing off his back foot. But for some reason, when we start to trend that way and we start to do it, then we revert back to what we are. Let's drop back and rush 3 or rush 4. What are we doing? We can't do that. Then you're relying on your DBs, who are some are zone corners and some are not. Our DBs are more made up of man corners versus zone corners, right? It is what it is. But overcome, hey, win the game. First and most important thing, win the game next week. Because if we don't win the game next week, people, we'll be the team that's 10-6 looking at everybody else in the playoffs. And you talking about really pissed off fans, that's just a season going down the drain. Number 2, offense has to play perfect football in the playoffs. Perfect football from here on out. It has to be perfect. No mistakes. Corey Davis gonna have to strap up his helmet. AJ Brown gonna have to get his gloves right. We got to depend on y'all. We can't depend on them. It's y'all. It's on y'all. Number 3, just hope that our defense can hold the yard and hold the line. I don't know if they can, but just pray and hope. A wing and a prayer, bro. What about you?
So, overcome is a big word, okay? There's obstacles in life. There's challenges and things to overcome, right? So, in a football sense, the Titans have struggled on defense all season long. They've been in the bottom 5 all season long. And there has not been a glimmer of hope to say, yes, our defense is going to figure it out. Oh, it's going to happen, right? Looking at our defense, yeah, at times we look good when we're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, when we're playing the Detroit Lions, right? We're playing putrid offenses, the Denver Broncos, right? Oh, our defense is back. They're ready. No, they're not. And when the playoffs come is when the real deal Holyfield comes out, okay? Now, when you look at last year's team, defensively, we played better. Even though we didn't play just super awesome, we played good enough to get to the AFC Championship. Not so much for us because of the plays, because of the leadership of our defensive coordinator. And we don't have that right now. And we've been saying that before the season started, before game 1. Our biggest concern is the fact that we do not have a defensive coordinator. We've been sticking true to that the entire season. Before we saw any game, there was no preseason. So it's nothing to judge from. We knew from last year we won because of Dean Pease on defense. Simply Dean Pease. We don't have
facts. No paper. Like, that's facts.
Exactly. We don't have Dean Corn. We don't have Dean Beans. I'm saying Dean Pease if you catch on to what I'm saying, right? We don't have anything, okay? All right, Bean Peas. We don't even have that. We have nothing, okay? Shane Bourne is a linebacker coach. You can see Kevin Byard being frustrated. You can see players being frustrated on defense. Like, man, what is going on? Malcolm Butler, like, man, what is going on, dude? Like, come on, y'all. We can't stop nobody. The first 3 possessions against the Packers with touchdowns, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns, right? I don't think we can overcome – I think. We're not going to overcome this. We're not. We keep expecting things to change. I can't expect from this show to the pregame for me to grow hair. It's not going to happen as much as I would like for it to. It's not. So we're not going to overcome this on defense. We're not. There's only 2 reasons we can win games, even against Houston. I'm not sitting there, we're going to beat the Texans. I don't know. You don't think Deshaun Watson is licking his chops like, oh, yeah. I got, people acting like Ryan Tannehill should have been the Pro Bowler and not me. I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them why I should be in – I did. Deshaun Watson had a hell of a season here. He threw over 4,200 yards. It wasn't like he didn't have a we said Ryan Tannehill got snubbed. We get that. But you don't think that's a motivator for Deshaun Watson? So against the Houston Texans and making the playoffs, the only way we're going to overcome this, the offense is going to have to play lights out. As you say, they can't make any mistakes. They have to score on every possession, at least 80% of their possessions, and having the ball in our hands the most of the game. Time of possession is going to be huge. We have to have the ball at least 35 minutes every game. Then on defense, the only hope you have is turnovers. You just hope that the other team fumbles the ball, right? The other teams make a big holding penalty on a touchdown, and then they call it back, right? That's the only way we're going to win any football games. It's not going to be on defense. It's not. You can't expect us to overcome that. It is what it is. But those things don't happen, we're not going past the first round of the playoffs. The good news is there are offenses that we could be playing that aren't good offenses in the playoffs. The Dolphins, the Browns are so-so. Ravens are so-so as far as passing. The Steelers are so-so when it comes to passing the ball. So, there's some glimmer of hope in that regard because it doesn't expose our defense tremendously. Wait till we play Buffalo. Yeah, we beat Buffalo. Yeah, it's okay. Just because you beat a team don't mean you can't get beat. Man. The Kansas City Chiefs, those teams. In the second round, you don't think Josh Allen is licking his chops? Mm-hmm. So that's my concern. No, we're not going to overcome that. Nope. We're going to have to put Band-Aid on the bullet hole. 2 bullet holes. To the chest, 1 to the head, right?
Right. Yep. So let me ask you this. How confident are you going into the Texans game on Sunday?
I would think it's a two-sided answer here.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think that the confidence level going into Houston, I think, and even moving forward, I really think that the Titans are going to look at it like, okay, we're not going to Green Bay. We don't know nothing about Green Bay. We know a lot about Houston. We know about the Texans. We're going into a dome in Houston. It's going to be, it's no weather issue there. And I do think because of the familiarity with Houston, I think our confidence level will be much more this game than it was for the Green Bay Packers game. They went into uncharted territories. It was cold, snowy, don't know nothing about Green Bay, hadn't faced a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers all season. I don't care what anybody says.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback we've played all season. We have not played top stellar quarterbacks. We haven't all season. Deshaun Watson, maybe. Outside of that, That's it. Right? Joe Burrow had a heck of a game, and he's a rookie, right? So anytime we play a quarterback that's at a certain level, they ball out. Matt Stafford had a decent game before he got hurt. So I think because we know Houston, our confidence level will pick up. I'm not saying it's at a cocky level because we're not there right now at all. I don't think we're going to be there, period. But I think we're like to say, like, okay, we know there's some mistakes that we made. We got to make some adjustments. Derrick Henry, we're going to have to just lean on you, bro. And, you're going to have to probably get 30 carries. And we're going to have the ball for 40 minutes a game. We're going to have the ball. And Houston's not going to be a layover. Houston's been fighting all season long. They're going to be ready for us. Please believe. They're not going to rest starters. They're going to try to win this game, okay? So I'm pretty confident going into Houston. I'm probably at about a 6.5 out of 10. What about for you, man?
I mean, it's one of those games where the first part of the season, games like this, the Titans we kept it close. We've seen the latter part of the season, the games that they're supposed to win, they have been blowing teams out, like literally, like blowing that teams out. But we haven't faced Deshaun Watson, right? Who's out there picking jokers apart and just wearing them out, right? And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, about to check it now. Who won that game? I want to say, was it the Bengals who won that game?
Against who?
The Texans. I'm checking now. Hold on.
I think
I really want to see. Yeah, it was the Bengals. So
Cincinnati won.
37-31. Okay. Cincinnati was able to pull it out.
Hey, Cincinnati be playing, dude.
Hey, they balling. The Cincinnati's gonna be dangerous in the next couple of years.
Right.
They don't have Larry Tunsil. They don't have Will Fuller. But that still doesn't give me confidence. Even with Larry Tunsil out, our pass rush, man. That's how bad our pass rush is, people. Your left tackle goes down, and your third string or fourth string left tackle comes in. Titans ain't gonna. You're not gonna get no sack. The Titans are not gonna get a sack. They're not gonna get no pressure. They're not gonna do nothing. Confidence with this game, I'm with you about a 7. Because of the threat of their run defense. Houston's run defense is trash. Derrick Henry tends to have his best games against them. He had a huge game, like 230. That was 230 yards last year. We played in the last game of the season. He balled out. So then this allows Darrington Evans to eat. I mean, hell, Darrington Evans didn't even play yesterday.
On offense.
They didn't even give him a shot to play, right?
He had great kick returns.
Hey, he kicks returns are awesome. I mean, we found something in him with kick returns. He's dope. But I think it allows the Titans to mix them up. They know this opponent. Like you said, they're in a dome. I just hope they don't go in there and take it lightly. I hope they go in there and they handle business and have confidence. But, I mean, with this team, it's just a lack of leadership, man. Let me say this, people. I'm saying this on the show. I apologize to Logan Ryan. I'm going to tell you why I apologize to him. Because I was saying, hey, we need to get rid of him. I mean, don't bring him back on this. I apologize. Because Logan Ryan at least showed me he had leadership, right? We didn't sign Wesley Woodyard. You're seeing how the linebackers are playing without Wesley Woodyard, like trash. Jayon was balling there for a minute. He picked it up. But with Woodyard in there, he allows you that leadership. He might not be the best player to come when he guards tight ends, but he had leadership, right? I apologize. Well, I can't apologize for this, but this is on the Titans. It's stupid for them to getting rid of Jarrell Casey. That was the most stupidest trade that we ever did, right? Because imagine, people, if we had Jarrell Casey, Logan Ryan, and still had Woodyard on his defense. I'm not saying without a defensive coordinator would have made a difference, but you at least would have had the leadership in the locker room to be like, hey, guys, we're going to hold each other accountable. Hey, we know where we need to be. Byard knows Woodyard. Byard knows Casey. Byard knows Logan, right? Without those people, you kind of getting this. You're seeing the true player like Byard and Hooker and all them. It's like they're like a child without guidance, right? Children go around, they ain't got no guidance. What they gonna do, Hawk? Tear up the house. You know what I mean? That's what the Titans are right now. No leadership on defense. So I hope they go into this game with their head screwed on straight. They have to win it, because if we lose this game, I don't. Boy, you'll see me flip this mic, bro. On the next show, I'm gonna flip this mic, literally. But I got my confidence level is at a 7. I'm gonna say we'll beat them, and that's a whole nother show. But I'm not confident enough that we're gonna go in there and spank them, right? I'm not confident if we're gonna go in there and whoop them up, just because of our defense and what's been going on with them. So, yeah, man, it's frustrating, dog. It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Yep. Understood, man. Understood. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, that ends the show, folks. As always, thank you for tuning in to the show. Again, thank you to Willie B's for allowing us to do the pregame, halftime, and postgame. We wanted to do a postgame there, but it would have been some audio issues, and we want to get it where we can spend that time with our subscribers, really just dive in and discuss things or whatever. But again, Willie B's there in Nashville. We did our show there. It was great. We are planning to possibly have some guests on the show there as well. So, we'll update you. If you're ever in the Nashville area, you just let us know, and just, we'll be there as well, too. We are selling merchandise through Teespring. We have masks. We have, even accessories and clothing for women, from shirts to tights. We have socks, mugs. Check it out, man. We have some great things. If you got it, if you want it, we got it. And lastly as well, we are sponsored by Nashville Stain. Nashville Stain is a company that does staining furnishings for outside things, from decks to steps, you name it, they do it. So check them out. Information is on the bottom.
Also, man, we're also sponsored by We Vans. WE Vans. This company, they do UX designs, digital marketing, website creations, hosting, anything you need, e-commerce sites created, they do. They're currently working on our website. Of course, we'll give you guys a sneak preview soon. But right now they're having a 40% off sale. So any consulting things you need to do, hit them up. I mean, they do very, very great work. Up and coming startup company, check them out. Vans.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So for those as well that like to contact us, or follow us on Instagram, follow us at Tennessee Titans Weekly, as well on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7, and even on email at TennesseeTitansWeekly@gmail.com.
Also, people, I tell you this every time. Cut the notification bell on besides the subscribe button. It lets you know when we go live, and it also lets you know when we post content. So definitely don't want to miss out when we post the content going live. We might even go live at Willie B's. We just never know. Also, share the video. Share the video. I tell you do this every time. Share the video to your auntie, your uncle, your cousin, your dog, your cat. Share the video. Also, share it to a Packers fan. Share it to a Lions fan. Share it to a Texans fan. We just don't know our team. We also know your team as well. So definitely hit us up, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, folks, we will talk to you all later for the pregame show for the Houston Texans. Let's tighten up. Let's get this victory, and let's get to the playoffs, and let's just see where the chips may fall. Let's get it in, folks.
Tighten up. Tighten up.
Tighten up, folks.